Evolve is a Trust e-record solution which will contain scanned images of the patient's record and documentation copied from Advantis. Evolve is accessed through the Trust intranet. If the intranet is not available, then you can always access Evolve directly through Trust applications. For this example, click on the Internet Explorer icon. In Live, you would first log on to the intranet as normal, using your username and password. For the purpose of this demonstration, you will see that a user, Andy Black, has been logged in. In Live, please always ensure that it is your name that appears in the top left-hand corner. The Evolve icon will appear within the Quick Links section. We are now going to log in to Evolve, so click onto the Evolve icon. Once logged into Evolve, the first page you're presented with is the home page, which is also referred to as the dashboard. The first thing we are going to look at is how to search for a patient. Using the search box, you can search on the NHS or district number. It is not possible to search for a patient by case note number. However, if you want to use the name search, please be aware that the first word that you type in will automatically search for any matching surnames. But if you put in 2 words, the first word will be classed as the first name and the second as the surname. If you want to use a combination, such as a surname and a date of birth, you would have to open up the advanced search. The patient we are going to search for is called Deborah Evolve. For this example, we are going to use the patient's number, which is the PAS district number. Click into the patient's search field and type in 922233 and then press the Enter key on the keyboard. The current alerts window is displayed, showing all alerts for the patient, which have been scanned in from the patient's case notes. Notice there is also an option to suppress alerts for this session, meaning if you access the same patient's record again, while still logged in, you will not see the alerts window displayed. Click on the Close button. We are now in the record for Deborah Evolve. The patient's details are displayed in the black banner at the top of the screen. This shows you the patient's surname, forename, hospital number, the NHS number, the patient's date of birth, the age and the gender. Click on the little man icon, which is also known as the patient menu. There are 4 different options within the patient menu: further information, add to favourites, fill in a form and view alerts. Click on further information. A window is displayed showing you further demographic information such as the patient's contact number, address details and GP information. All this information is pulled through from the PAS system. Click on the Close button. Click back on the patient menu. The next option we have is Add to Favourites. This allows you to add this patient to your list of favourites. We are going to have a look at how to do this later in the video. Fill in a form option is not currently used. The last option we have is View Alerts, which you have seen at the beginning of the e-learning. Next in the patient banner we have a clock icon. Click onto the clock icon. This shows you a list of users who have recently accessed the patient's record, including the date and time the record was accessed. Please be aware that all activity in Evolve is audited, and access to the notes should be on a need-to-know basis. Staff should only be accessing patients' information if it is appropriate to their job role. Next we have the yellow star icon. Click onto the star icon. This displays a list of patients which you have added to your favourites list, enabling you to quickly access these patients without having to use the search facility. We're going to have a look at adding favourites later in the e-learning. The next icon we have is a clock with a green arrow. Click onto this icon. This displays a list of patients you have recently accessed. This is useful as you can click on a patient's name to go back into the record without having to search for them all over again. In the far right hand corner you will see the name of the person currently logged into Evolve. For this example we can see it as Evolve User 1. In the live system this is where your name will appear. If this isn't your name you need to log out. Remember that the system has an audit trail and it is a disciplinary offence to access patient information using somebody else's password. Click on the drop down arrow. This gives you two options. Personalise, which allows you to tailor Evolve to the way you want it to look, and Log Out, which allows you to log out of the system and takes you back to the intranet. Notice the tabs underneath the patient banner. These tabs allow you to access different parts of Evolve. The navigation pane is on the left hand side, and this allows you to navigate through the various documents within the patient's notes. We are now going to have a look at different views. The view drop-down list defaults to tab. However, there are different views you can select depending on how you want to see the information displayed. Tab view displays the notes in the same way you would view them in the paper record. Click on the drop-down list against View, and then select Date. This gives you all the documents that were scanned and the date on which they were scanned within a selectable date range. Anything which has the word legacy before it means it is anything in the notes before we went electronic. Note, there is going to be a new location code on PAS and Patient Centre, which is going to be the letter E. Rather than seeing the location code MR for medical records, you will now see the code E, indicating that the notes are stored in Evolve. Please be aware that only the last 2 years' worth of notes will be scanned and stored within specialities in Evolve. Notes over 2 years old will be located under Unclassified, and documentation copied from Advantis will be for the last 2 years. Anything earlier will need to be viewed in Advantis. Click back on the View drop-down menu, and now select Specialty. You're presented with a list of specialties. In the live system you will only see specialties displayed where notes have actually been scanned into them. Click on the Dermatology specialty. This opens up to reveal a list of headings where the documents are contained. Click on the heading Clinical Notes. Please be aware that the documentation you will see is for training purposes only. For this example, select the notes dated 18th of July 2013, Legacy Operation and Procedure Notes. The content would now be displayed on the right hand side of the screen. Now select the General Surgery specialty. Click on the Clinical Notes heading, and then select the Legacy ICP Care Pathway dated 18th of July 2013. The document is now displayed on the right hand side. We are now going to have a look at the recently added view. Click on the drop-down list against View, and now select Recently Added. This would show you any documents that have been added since you last accessed the patient's record. For this example, we can see that no new documents have been added since the patient's record was last accessed. Click back on the View drop-down list, and now select Episode. This shows documents and notes scanned within a specific episode. In the live system, the date here will be the date of discharge or the date of an appointment. We are now going to go back to the specialty view and have a look at it in more detail. Click on the View drop-down and select Specialty. Once you have a document open, There are various ways in which it can be viewed. To switch to full screen mode, click on the full screen icon. From here you can also increase the size of the document by clicking on the zoom in icon. To zoom out of the document, click on the zoom out icon. To come out of full screen view, click on the triangle icon pointing left. You are now taken back to the normal view with the navigation pane displayed on the left hand side. If there is more than one page to the document, thumbnails are displayed to the left. Click on the chevron icon to the left of the document to hide the thumbnails. To view the thumbnails, click back on the chevron arrows. The thumbnails are now displayed. In order to view the second page of the document, click on the second thumbnail. The second page of the document is now displayed on the right hand side. We are now going to look at link to documents. Before we do this, we are going to search for another patient. For this example, we are going to search for a patient called Andrew Anfield. You can search for patients using the quick search box located on the tab banner. Click into this box and type in the name Andrew Anfield and then press the Enter key on your keyboard. If there is only one matching result, you will be taken straight into the patient's record. Here we can see the alerts window is displayed for Andrew Anfield. Once you have read the alerts, click on the Close button. We are now in the record for Andrew Anfield. Click on the drop-down list against View. Select Specialty. And now click on the Dermatology specialty. Click on the Clinical Notes heading. If you look at the navigation bar, you will notice that some documents have a small link icon appearing before the name. A link symbol indicates the document has more than one version. These are called linked documents. Click on the link symbol against the Legacy Clinical Note dated 12th of June 2013. Here you can see a list of the different versions of the document. Notice that the date and the name of the person who has made the changes is clearly visible. Many factors create linked documents, and you can see here that simply rotating a document will create a linked version. Other instances of linked documents could include annotations, where clinicians have included text notes or highlighted sections of information. When you search or view a document, you will be shown the most recent version. However, should you wish to view an earlier version of the document, then you can click on the link. Click on the bottom link, dated 12th of June 2013, Legacy Clinical Notes. Notice the warning message at the top of the document telling you this is not the latest version. If you see this warning message and wish to view the most up-to-date version of the document, you would need to click back on the link icon in the navigation pane. And then select the top link, which is a Legacy Clinical Note dated 9th of August 2013. You are now viewing the most recent version of the Legacy Clinical Note. We are now going to have a look at viewing clinic lists. In order to do this, click on the List tab. The information populating the clinics is pulled through from PAS Patient Centre. Before beginning a new search, always check to ensure the fields are empty. If not, click on the Clear button to empty the fields. The fields are now empty, ready to begin a new search. You have the option to search on consultant, clinic code or location. For this example, click into the clinic field and then type in the letters MM to search for Dr. McNally's clinic and then press the Enter key on your keyboard. A list of matching results is returned. For this example, select the first option. Now click on the drop-down list against date. If it is the same day clinic, then you would select today. But for training purposes, we are going to look for a clinic on the 18th of July. Therefore, click on Specific. And now click on the calendar icon to enable you to search for the date you require. click on the back arrow to go back 1 month to July. And now click on the 18th of July. And then click on the search button. This returns a list of all the patients booked into the specified clinic. If you would like to view both follow-up and new appointments together, you can do this by clicking back into the clinic field. In the live system, you would enter the clinic code. For this example, type the letters MM and then press the Enter key on your keyboard. And now select the second option from the list. And then click on Search. You will now see a list of patients with both follow-up and new appointments. You can sort the results using the headings. For example, if you wanted to see the clinic list in date and time order, you can click on the Date heading. You can click on the hospital number for clinic list and number order, or the name heading for alphabetical order. For this example, click on the Date heading. You can now see the results are shown in date and time order. From here, you can access the patient's notes by clicking on the hospital number. We are going to view the notes for Sarah Smith, so click on the patient's hospital number, which is 922187. The alerts window is displayed. When you've read the alerts, click on the Close button. You are now taken into the notes for Sarah Smith, where you can view her record. We are now going to go back to Lists to view the next patient on the clinic list. In order to do this, you would click on the List tab. If you wanted to view the notes for another patient, you would select their hospital number. However, we are going to have a look at some of the other search options. Before you start a new search, click on the Clear button. We are now going to search using location. This enables you to search for a patient in a specific location such as a ward. In the live system, you can start typing the first few letters of the location you are searching for, and any matching results will be returned. For training purposes, click into the location field and type RAIN, and then press the Enter key on your keyboard. From the list of results returned, select Rainforest Test, and then click on the Search button. This gives you a list of all patients who are currently on the Rainforest Test ward. We are now going to have a look at how to search for patients under a specific consultant. Click on the Clear button to begin a new search. In the live system, you would type in the consultant's surname and then select the appropriate option from the list. For the purpose of this demonstration, click into the consultant field and type in the letters COOP for Dr. Cooper, and then press the Enter key on your keyboard. From the list of results returned, select the second option, and then click on the Search button. This returns a list of all patients currently under Dr. Cooper. To view further demographic information about your patient, you can click on the information icon on the right-hand side. This is the letter I in a blue circle. Click on the I icon against Amy Kanos. A window is displayed showing you further demographic information such as the address details and GP information. Once you've read the information, click on the Close button. You also have the option to add patients to a favourites list. Click on the yellow star icon with a plus symbol against it to add Millie Waters to your favourites list. A message is displayed saying you have successfully marked this patient as a favourite. Click OK to this message. We have now finished working with lists. To go back to the home page, click on the Home tab. You are now back on the home page. Next, we are going to have a look at favourites. To view a list of patients who have been added to a favourites list, click on the yellow star icon. A list of patients which have been added to your favourites list is displayed. For this example, click on the patient Millie Waters, who we added to the favourites list earlier. You are now taken into the notes for Millie Waters. You also have the option to remove patients from your favourites list. To do this, click back on the favourites icon. And then click on the remove icon against Millie Waters. A message is displayed saying you have successfully removed the patient from your favourites list. Click OK to this message. We have now finished working with the record for Millie Waters. Click on the Home tab to return to the home page. We are now going to have a look at how you can display a list of patients you have recently viewed. To do this, click on the clock icon with a green arrow. A list of recently accessed patients is displayed. From this list, you can select a patient by clicking on their name to open up their notes. For this example, click on Andrew Anfield. You are first presented with a window containing any alerts for the patient. Once you have read the alerts, click on the Close button. You can now navigate through the record using the tabs and views which you have been shown in this demonstration. When you have finished using Evolve, always remember to log out of the system. To do this, click on the username which appears in the top right hand corner. And then click on Log Out. A window is displayed asking if you are sure you wish to log out. Click Yes to this message. This is the end of the e-learning for Evolve Basic Access.